I whipped out a handgun, pressing it to Damien's head. Back off, or I'll turn New York into a bloodbath. Dead silence. The guards froze in their tracks.
Marry the dog. I got a mission in Miami. Wedding's off.
On my wedding day, I waited hours for my fiancé. All I got was a bulldog in a suit. My fiancé, Damien, had the dog on a leash in one hand, a cross-eyed baby boy with a twisted mouth in the other.
You always said you wanted a child with me. Well, Teresa just had one. She's coming with me. No time to raise a kid. So here, consider it practice. Miami is volatile right now. I don't know when I'll be back, but I promise you, raise him right, and I'll come back to marry you.
He grabbed Teresa's waist and drove off. But what he didn't know, Constantine, the Don of the Vitti family, had always seen me differently. The second Damien left, I decided to marry Constantine. I became the Vitti family's Donna and consigliere. For 5 years, Constantine handled expansion and kept order. I rooted out the rats and gathered intel. The streets gave me a new name, the Black Mamba. Beautiful, deadly. One strike was all it took. Today, I took my son, Lucian, to our casino. Lucian simply stood by the tables, casually rattling off a string of odds. In an instant, he helped a desperate gambler win back every lost chip. The crowd gasped.
That kid's a reincarnated prodigy!
An arrogant voice cut through.
Of course he's brilliant. He's my son.
Damien stood there with whiskey in hand. Teresa, still striking after all these years, on his arm.
Good job, Claire. I lied to you back then. This child is mine and Teresa's. Look at him. A boy this smart obviously takes after me. But I'll admit it, you did a decent job raising him. I'll keep my promise. But Teresa gave me 5 years and a brilliant heir. I already promised Teresa the wife's place. You can be my mistress.
I shoved Lucian toward the VIP lounge, finally glancing up at him. Save it, Damien. I'm the Donna of the Vitti family. I'm nobody's dirty secret. Damien frowned.
I haven't even taken over as Don yet. We aren't married. Who calls you the Donna? Watch your mouth. I won't have my men saying I don't know how to discipline a woman.
I scoffed. You? The Don? Relying on Teresa? She's just your nominal adoptive sister. Don't make me laugh. She's not even allowed in the inner circle. Damien's face darkened. I looked right past him to my driver.
Take Lucian to the estate.
Nobody moves! My driver stepped forward. Teresa cut him off.
Get your hands off my boy, Teresa!
She dodged me with the child in her arms.
Your son? Are you insane? Since when did my son become yours?
My driver rushed.
Get your hands off the young master!
Damien kicked him square in the chest. The driver flew backward, coughed up blood, and sprinted out the doors. The crowd scattered. Damien sneered. He grabbed my wrist.
Claire, I know you like children, especially a boy as smart as my son. And in the past 5 years, you've made plenty off him in this casino. But now we're back. It's time you gave him back to Teresa.
I snapped. Don't be ridiculous! The child you and Teresa had was born impaired. Did you really think I'd be stupid enough to raise him? This is my son with Constantine. Let him go. Now! Damien froze as I moved to tell the truth. I shoved them aside, ripped an inhaler from my bag, pumped it twice into Lucian's mouth.
Lucian, swallow, quick!
Teresa shrieked.
Damien! She's poisoning our boy!
I grabbed her hair, slapped her hard. I aimed the inhaler again. Thud. Damien kicked me square in the back. I hit the ground hard. My cheek swelled almost instantly. He hauled me up by my collar.
What the hell did you feed my son?
Completely. My eyes locked on Lucian.
Don't pull it out! He's having an... Make him use the inhaler! It's not poison! It's asthma! Give him the medicine!
Damien looked down. He raised his heavy boot and stomped the inhaler into dust.
You think I'm stupid? I know asthma. That's poison.
I stared at the crushed inhaler on the floor. My eyes widened. I went pale.
Frisk her. Find the antidote.
Stop! Not a single one of you is qualified to touch me.
I whipped out a handgun, pressing it to Damien's head. Back off, or I'll turn New York into a bloodbath. Dead silence. The guards froze in their tracks. I glanced at... I swallowed my terror.
Damien, listen to me. Lucian is my biological son, with Constantine. None of you are walking out of here alive. Get a medic. Now.
Theresa's crying snapped off.
Wait, didn't Constantine get married 5 years ago? The wedding date? Oh, I remember now. It was the exact same day Claire married that dog.
Claire, I remember Constantine chased after you, and you turned him down.
Don't tell me. You regret it now? Are you living in some fantasy where you're his wife? Is that why you're claiming my son is his?
Damien's expression darkened instantly.
Claire, who do you think you are? Some kind of hot commodity? Constantine's words at the family banquet then were just drunken rambling. He even made it clear afterward that he wasn't interested in you.
I can't believe you're still hung up on him. Some top-tier graduate from a prestigious school, acting like a cheap street waiter. Have you no shame?
I let out a cold laugh. You're trying to climb the ranks by cozying up to Constantine's adopted sister, and you have the nerve to call me shameless? When Constantine confessed to me at the family banquet, I turned him down. To keep rumors from hurting your reputation. I had him explain it away as a drunken slip. And here you are, thinking I was just delusional. You are so conceited and hypocritical. Damien, humiliated and furious, snapped.
What are you all standing around for? Can't a bunch of you handle one woman with a little pistol? Go!
One of the bodyguards behind me kicked my pistol out of my hand before I could react. I dodged his grab, lashed out and kicked another man's knee, and moved nimbly. Then Teresa let out a piercing shriek.
Damien, our baby is dying!
I looked back.
Stop right there. So what if I have money? My parents worked hard for every penny. Does having money means I deserve to die? Everyone in this ballroom is a person of status. Which one of them doesn't have some wealth? By your logic, are we all evil rich people? Besides, even if I were an evil rich man, what gives you the right to play judge and jury?
I didn't give her a chance to speak.
You're wearing my dress and standing so close to my fiancé. What kind of justice is that? I don't care whether you have dignity or not, but before you lecture me, could you take off my evening gown and return it to me? I had this custom-made for myself for today, not to serve as your wedding dress.
Hearing this, everyone's eyes focused on the gown. The daughter of our housekeeper was born with a love for dressing up, and every time she attended an event, she dressed more flamboyantly than me, the rightful heiress. In my previous life, at my engagement gala, she shredded every single one of my evening gowns. She showed up in full glamour and became the center of attention. Everyone was saying she looked more like the leading lady of the evening. My fiancé fell head over heels for her at first sight, and the two of them secretly pledged their lives to each other. When I found out the truth, I forcibly tore them apart. In the end, my parents were framed and died unjustly, and I was drowned in the ocean by them. Now, reborn, I return to the day the housekeeper's daughter cut my clothes. Watching her cut my clothes with a sick smile on her face, I smiled too. Please, I'm the heiress of a wealthy family. How dare a lowly servant who eats my food and lives under my roof try to fight me? The first person I saw when I opened my eyes was our butler, Mr. Jenkins.
Miss Serena. Miss, terrible news. Bella Cruz has secretly taken the evening gown you had custom made.
When I rushed outside, I saw Bella driving away in my Porsche, leaving me standing there in a cloud of exhaust fumes.
I shouldn't have let her take her driver's test with me back then.
Back at the mansion, Mr. Jenkins said all the designer gowns in my walk-in closet had been deliberately damaged to varying degrees and were unwearable. Just like in my previous life. Standing at the closet doorway, looking at the mess and clothes scattered everywhere, I calmly ordered,
Mr. Jenkins, call the police.
Yes, miss.
I picked up my phone and dialed my mother's number. When she answered, I quickly put on a tearful voice.
Mom, something terrible happened. We've been robbed.
In my previous life, Bella had worn my evening gown and destroyed all my formal wear. Blinded by rage, I threw on a random dress and drove to my engagement gala. But I hit traffic, and by the time I ran into the ballroom, I saw Bella beaming with delight, already the center of everyone's attention. My fiancé Lucas Kane and my brother Ethan Hall were both circling around her. I lost all reason and caused a scene like a madwoman, humiliating my parents. Afterward, although I still married Lucas as planned, I had unknowingly fallen right into his trap. After the wedding, he used my father's trust to climb to the top of the company, engaged in smuggling through illegal channels, and then pinned the blame on my father. After Dad went to prison, Mom was so heartbroken that she lost focus while driving and crashed. She was hospitalized with severe injuries and eventually passed away. My idiot brother Ethan was also framed by Lucas and Bella and thrown into prison. In the end, to be with Bella, Lucas took me on a yacht to international waters and pushed me into the ocean.
You're not even worth one strand of Bella's hair. Marrying you was the most disgusting thing I've ever done.
The icy seawater closed over my head. The last thing I saw was Lucas holding Bella in his arms and kissing her passionately. Reborn, in this life, I will never let anyone walk all over me again. I arrived at the ballroom with the police. Pushing open the grand doors, the scene before me was identical to my previous life. Bella was surrounded by people wearing my lavender evening gown, the silky fabric accentuating her graceful figure. Lucas and Ethan were like two knights protecting a flower, wearing my lavender evening gown, the silky fabric accentuating her graceful figure. The only difference was that in my previous life, my parents had been frantically calling me, but this time, because I had explained the situation in advance and told them not to act rashly, they simply sat quietly in their seats, coldly watching everything unfold in the ballroom. The lead officer approached Bella.
Are you Bella Cruz?
Yes, that's me.
Someone reported you for vandalism and theft of personal property.
Bella looked at me, her eyes welling up with tears.
Serena, how could you do this to me?
I stepped back.
What do you mean, how could I do this to you? Can you stop crying at the drop of a hat? It's not like nobody else can shed tears.
She turned to the officer.
Officer, this is a misunderstanding. My sister is just joking with you. What are you talking about?
I quickly cut her off.
Who's your sister? How would I dare joke about a robbery in my own home?
I turned to the officer.
My Porsche is indeed missing, and none of the staff touched my car. Many of my clothes in my closet were damaged to varying degrees. I've already arranged for someone to retrieve the security footage copies. When we have them, it'll be clear.
Hearing what I said, the people around us now looked at Bella with knowing eyes. Bella's tears fell at will.
Serena, I know you come from a noble background, but that doesn't give you the right to humiliate me as you please. I may be poor, but I have my dignity. You can't humiliate me in public like this. Just because you have money, you think you can trample on other people's dignity? Stop right there. So what if I have money? My parents worked hard for every penny. Does having money means I deserve to die? Everyone in this ballroom is a person of status. Which one of them doesn't have some wealth? By your logic, are we all evil rich people? Besides, even if I were an evil rich man, what gives you the right to play judge and jury?
I didn't give her a chance to speak.
You're wearing my dress and standing so close to my fiancé. What kind of justice is that? I don't care whether you have dignity or not, but before you lecture me, could you take off my evening gown and return it to me? I had this custom-made for myself for today, not to serve as your wedding dress.
Hearing this, everyone's eyes focused on the gown she was wearing.
I was wondering why that dress looked odd on her. Turns out she stole it from someone else.
I heard she's the housekeeper's daughter. Oh, no wonder I've never seen her before.
The nerve of her, stealing the mistress clothes and then talking about dignity. She wants to have her cake and eat it too.
Bella listened to the gossip around her, her face turning pale then green, too embarrassed to take the dress off, but also too embarrassed to keep it on. Just as she was agonizing over what to do, Lucas finally spoke.
Enough!
Lucas stepped forward,
Enough!
shielding Bella. His gaze toward Bella was impossibly gentle.
Serena, you've gone too far. It's just a dress. I think Bella looks much more beautiful in it than you ever would. Why can't you be as generous as Bella and just give it to her? It's better to give than to receive.
His eyes turned cold and distant when he looked at me.
On such an important day, do you really have to make such a scene and embarrass everyone?
He turned to the officers.
This is all a misunderstanding. Thank you for coming, but you can leave now.
The lead officer glanced at him.
Are you the one who filed the report? If not, please step aside.
He was an illegitimate child, the product of an affair that Victor Kane, the current head of the Kane family, had carelessly left behind. After Victor's first wife died, he quickly brought Lucas and his mother into the family estate. In my previous life, I was so infatuated with Lucas that I chased after him, obeying his every whim and trying to fulfill every request. In the end, he killed me, and I didn't even get a proper burial. But I'm no longer the lovesick fool who saw nothing but him. My gaze fell on Victor Kane and his current wife, who were hiding behind the crowd.
Uncle Victor, this is just the engagement. I haven't even entered the Kane family yet, and Lucas already treating me like of another woman. Do you think this engagement still needs to happen?
The Kane family's status was far below the Hall family's. Lucas and his mistress mother only had their current standing in the Kane family because of my engagement to him. Victor, hearing me call him out in public, had no choice but to step forward. He glared at Lucas.
Apologize.
Lucas stubbornly refused. His mother walked over and discreetly pinched him, but he still wouldn't budge.
I don't say, you gonna apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I apologize?
My father stepped forward with a look of contempt.
Who do you think you are? If my precious daughter hadn't taken a liking to you, what right would you have to stand here today?
Officer, we insist on a thorough investigation of today's incident. Please take her in for questioning.
Dad!
Ethan, who had been silent, suddenly spoke up. My father coldly glanced at him.
Shut up! Look at your pathetic self. You look like a penguin begging for food at the zoo. You've disgraced our entire family.
Ethan could only watch helplessly as the police took Bella away. In the security footage, all truth will come to light. The security cameras clearly showed Bella walking into my closet, picking up my evening gown and walking out. When she appeared on camera again, she was already wearing the gown, but now had a pair of scissors in her hand. She opened the wardrobe where I kept my formal gowns and cut through them one by one. The garage cameras also showed her getting into my Porsche and driving away. The evidence was irrefutable. Bella had no room to deny anything. At the police station, she begged me for forgiveness with tears streaming down her face.
Serena, I know I was wrong. I just wanted to play a prank. I didn't mean to ruin your engagement gala. Please forgive me.
I took out my phone, tapped a few times, and showed her the screen.
All the damages total $530,000. If you can compensate me, I'll provide a letter understanding. What do you say? When you're wrong, admit it. When you're beaten, stand tall. You understand this principle, don't you?
$530,000 was no small sum. Her mother earned $7,000 a month as our housekeeper. There was no way she could afford that much. Because of today's incident, Victor had confined Lucas to the house and forbidden him from going out. So she couldn't count on Lucas to play the hero and rescue her. And with Lucas's status as an illegitimate child, he couldn't come up with that kind of money either. High society looked down on bastards like him the most. Although he had been brought into the family, he didn't have financial freedom, so nobody would lend him money, except me. Unfortunately for them, I had just been reborn, and I was no longer the lovesick girl who obeyed his every word. But what I didn't expect was, Bella somehow managed to scrape together the money. A text notification confirmed that $530,000 had been deposited. I promptly signed the mediation agreement with